and Marge and Art should log back on.
You don't have to log.
And Bill, you stay
How long
put.
how long of a break you taking?
Pardon me? We're gonna start again right at 7. So 10
7?
minutes
Okay.
or so.
Okay.
Good time for a bathroom trip for all.
We don't have to shut off.
No, you shouldn't.
No.
But if you need to leave
Leave it alone.
your square space to get a drink or something like that, feel free to do that.
Okay.
We'll see you in a few minutes.
Anybody single malt scotch?
Hello, Sharon.
Mm-hmm.
I sent you a text message. Would you be able to read that?
Hang on a minute.
Thank you.
Oh, on my phone, you mean?
Yes.
Oh, hang on. I turned my phone off so I wouldn't end up ringing.
You know what, I noticed one of the comments, I'll talk a little bit about it. I'm not sure if Peter Adams was on when we started tonight. The Florida state of emergency is not in effect. And I guess Florida is not even mandating masks when you go indoors. I've noticed now that even in restaurants, waiters and waitresses are not wearing masks. Because of our senior population, and I'm sure many of us with underlying conditions, we really wanted to make sure that we stayed as safe as possible. We were able to hold our last meeting in the clubhouse, and we were pretty much 6 feet apart. It did go well, but then there were other people who were standing and then afterwards congregating. We really are just trying to make sure we keep everyone safe. That's our main goal. And I did see a couple other comments about in-person and Zoom. Our next meeting, just so everyone knows, is our annual election. And what happens at that meeting is that it's the meeting where the votes for the candidates are counted. So there's not really a lot of audience, or if any participation at that meeting. The meeting is called to order, the votes are counted, and at the end, Paul would announce the totals of the ballots and who the winners were. And then there are no other agendas on the agenda items on that meeting. So we really are just taking a look at COVID, and if it's the numbers are down and we feel it's safe and the clubhouse feels it's safe, we can go inside. I mean, there is some talk about outside as well, but the outside area is condo 1 and condo 2. And this is really condo 2 business that we're having on that annual meeting. So there are a lot of factors that are going to go into that decision, but know that our main factor is that we want to keep everyone safe. I think our next board meeting, and hopefully in February, the COVID rates will be going down, the hospitalization will be going down, and we can start looking at having in-person board meetings again. So we want to have the in-person board meetings. It's nice. But again, there is somebody who said, you know, if you don't live here, it's also good to see it on Zoom. So we'll do the best we can. You have our word on that one. We have 1, 2, 3, and I'm missing one candidate. Bill, I hope he didn't log off.
I
I told him not to.
video is on.
Yeah,
There
no,
we
he's
go.
there.
There he
He
is,
just-
okay.
Yeah, he didn't log off. He
Okay.
just went to get a drink of water or something.
So there were just a few people logged in at the beginning, and then hopefully there are many more at this point. I'd like to say thank you, Jeffrey. You're doing a great job behind the scenes.
Absolutely fabulous.
You've got that down. You've got
I
that.
am thrilled,
Thank you, guys.
really good.
You're right on it for everyone, and then you click
Right.
off at the end.
It's terrific.
So we have just a couple more minutes, and I will just spend this time in case anybody's logged on after the last meeting started. I wanted to, first of all, thank Paul for setting this meeting up for us and taking all the questions from the residents and putting them together and sending them over to Sharon, and all the residents who sent questions in and who are on tonight. I really want to thank the candidates for taking part. This is not an easy thing to do, and you've agreed to do this for us. Thank you very much. I'd like to also now thank Sharon. And Sharon is a volunteer from our community who has facilitated meetings before, and she is going to be facilitating the a meeting for us. I'm sorry, I'm getting text messages while I'm talking. I gotta
What
do
is that?
both
What's
at
that
once.
ringing I keep hearing?
That would be my phone text.
Oh.
So I'll be signing off and going on to quiet zone and turning the meeting over to Sharon, who will start in about 1 or 2 more minutes.
Right.
Thank you again, everyone.
As long as I have a moment, I just wanted to let everybody listening know that questions were requested ahead of time. So there isn't an open opportunity for questions to be answered now that come in from people that are participating. We asked people for questions ahead and they did furnish them. So nothing to do with me particularly, but just I think the questions that some of you are putting into the chat, feel free to email Sandra afterwards, and she will get the board to answer those questions for you. Thank you. Okay, so I think we're all here, and we probably can begin. We have this is for the rec board. There is 1 seat open for the rec board. The board of directors, which I think I didn't say, there are 2 seats open, but for the rec board there is 1 seat open, and the candidates are Bill Arthur, Anthony DiGennaro, Marge Fattori, and Art Robbins. I believe there's another one. I don't know the name of the person, and they're not here. So the opening remarks, again, for 2 minutes, the question responses for 2 minutes, and closing remarks for 1 minute. And I will point you to the Palm Greens timekeeper, who's doing a great job, and keep your eye on it. If it goes red, your time has ended. But you'll see a purple at 15 seconds, so you'll, not purple, yellow, so you'll know to, wind it down there. So for opening remarks, we're going to start with Bill. And this is a new audience, perhaps.
So so these ain't the same people? You all the same people? we
Who
just talking
knows?
to?
Who knows? You don't know.
Who knows? Okay. My name is Bill Arthur. I live on Spindle Palm Court. I'm a full-time resident here. Okay, we'll do it again. I have,
Well, this is to do with
Reason-
rec board, so.
New
I
York
said-
Institute of Technology, New York School of Engineering, Copper Uni, Polytech University, Tandon Engineering School, many trade schools associations, certifications, and associate degrees. I also hold a pool and spa, well, it doesn't matter down here, but I also held a pool and spa license up in New York for probably the last 26 years. So that would be the maintenance of the, for the maintenance of the pool and stuff like that. Also, again, is being an infrastructure person, as I said, we have issues with several of the buildings in the clubhouse and the grounds, and I'd like to address those. I'm good.
Thank you. Anthony, you're next.
Anthony DeGennaro, Lady Palm Court. I've been in real estate for the last 31 years, 11 years of it down here. I am a full-time resident. I have 40 years of management experience, which I think will be helpful in the rec board. I'm pretty good at negotiating, and that might help when we have to negotiate any new contracts or any deals that have to be made. I do that for a living every day, and it's something that I feel that I'm an expert at. So, and again, I am a full-time resident, and I will fulfill my duties for the next 2 years, 110%. Thank you.
Thank you. Marjorie.
Hi, my name is Marge Vittori. I live full-time on Sugar Palm Court here. I'm from New Jersey, and I spent 28 years working for the state of New Jersey in the criminal justice system in the probation department. I started as an investigator and worked my way up to assistant chief when I retired. I supervised a lot of probation officers in their daily activities. And I've also worked in the insurance industry. I helped a lot of seniors with their Medicare supplemental plans, deciding which plan was best. I like this community. I believe that I'm a people person. I can get along with people. I can do a lot of things. And I would like to see this community become even better than what it is at this point in time. I'm motivated. I got a lot of energy. I'm well educated. I have an undergraduate degree in criminal justice. I have a master's degree in psychology and a master's degree in criminal justice. So I'm well versed in how budgets work and negotiations also. So I believe I could be a very good asset to this board.
Thank you. And Art.
My name is Art Robbins. Presently, I am the treasurer of the Recreation Board. I'm a full-time resident, and I have a degree in engineering. I have an MBA. I have operated 10 years as a industrial piping troubleshooter worldwide, both for fabrication as well as materials. I've owned 2 construction companies that have done extremely well. I have been a CEO of both private as well as public corporations. I've been consulting with many companies, even today, worldwide. And I've been working with the community here in Palm Greens. I've worked with the Women's Club. I've worked with the Four Seasons, even the Social Tennis Club, the Tennis Committee, in trying to get things done quickly and done well. I worked with Charles to get him up as a mentor so he can take over as property manager. I spent 3 months working as a temporary property manager, and I'd say at least $20,000, if not more, dollars because of my background on the Recreation Board. So generally speaking, I'm very familiar with what's going on here. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and now we go to the question and answer period. Again, up to 2 minutes to respond. First question, are you willing to represent the needs and wants of Palm Greens 2 owners, or do you have an agenda that you would bring to the board? Anthony, first response.
Well, currently, naturally, I would represent the Palm Greens 2 members. And I would hope that, you know, the decisions that are made for the rec board would help benefit the community, not only Palm Greens 2, but Palm Greens 1, because we have to work together. And being in the real estate business, hopefully with the new clubhouse, hopefully coming soon, that I might have some input or anything that relates to construction, management. I would like to have some input as far as that goes. But everything would be for our Palm Greens community as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you. Marjorie.
Yes, absolutely. I represent the Palm Greens community and the residents here above anything else, going to the board. As I mean, if I am elected to the board, I'm here to listen to the residents and listen to what they have to say, to their suggestions and everything else, and bring it to the board for discussion. And I believe that's the way that it should work. The whole board making the decisions, but there is no hidden agenda or anything like that. I'm here to work for the community of Palm Greens to make it a better community and to listen to everyone.
Thank you. Art.
I think that, as previously said by everybody else, the key of the board is to represent the people, especially within our own, let's say, district. However, the problems in 2 are much similar to the same ones as 1. As to the new facility coming about, as a board member, I believe that we had to give full support to the PGCA, who represent us with 13th floor / Leonard, whoever's in charge. And that what is good for 2 is good for 1. What's good for 1 is also good for 2. I think we have to work as a whole community more than anything else and keep our pulse going. What's going on today, and not worry about people all over the US or out of the US in coming to a conclusion. We had to react immediately.
Thank you. Art. I'm sorry, you just spoke. Bill?
Up to me now?
Yep,
Okay.
we are. Do you want me to read the
Okay,
question?
like anybody else would say, and I'm sure it's agreed no matter where you go over there. Yes, the residents come over, you want the residents to have input and stuff like that. However, in these last couple of years, there's been more red tape, and it takes longer, okay, to get a function going in this place now than it takes to actually put the function together. Okay. My second thing is we got a clubhouse that we had, and I don't care. We had a president up in New York State that don't know nothing about ventilation or nothing like that. We have a clubhouse that's putrid smelling. We have a tennis area, we have a tennis office that's got mold and stuff in it. We're rebuilding walls in the tennis court, again with wood that has that shouldn't be. Okay, these should be now block, nice walls and stuff, because it's going to be the future, because also that we're going on. Shuffleboard courts need to be refinished. Okay, these are things that get played every day. Tennis is a big thing, shuffleboard. We just put a whole bunch of money into a bocce ball court that in 5 years here, 3 weeks ago, I saw people play it for the first time. I think we waste a lot of money. I think we have a, what do you call it? Dissension amongst people and stuff like that. As I said, up to me, we should expand pool hours. I believe in party every Friday, party every Saturday. We should be enjoying our facilities, okay? And we're not doing that. And it seems like every time that we go on there, we have a split vote, okay? And a person that is no hands-on over here is making all decisions, and I don't think that's right. Again, I think a full-time resident should be here, a person that's in the trenches every day. And that's the kind of people that should be over here. But our facilities are not good at all.
Thank you. Next question. Why do you think someone would run for a condo and rec boards at the same time? Explain the differences in responsibilities of the two boards. If elected to both, how would you handle it? Marjorie.
I'm only running for the one board, for the rec board. So I don't want to speculate why people would run for both boards. I'll just leave it at that. I'm just running for the rec board. And as I said, I'm running for the rec board to help make this community a better community. I already think we live in a great community. Does it have its quirks and everything else? Yes. Can it use some tweaking? Absolutely. You know, but there's always going to be different opinions from the amount of people that are here. So we can only try to make it more, a better quality of life for everybody here. And that's what I want to do.
Thank you. Art.
Well, again, I'm just running for the rec board also. However, I understand the ins and outs of being on a board. And truthfully speaking, it is extremely difficult because it's one meeting right after another. It is endless texts, endless emails, endless complaints from various corners. It's not easy at all. And truthfully speaking, I thought about it at one point. And I know personally, even though I've run international companies, I don't want the aggravation at this point where I lose my life in it. As it is now, I'm spending anywhere from 40 to 50 hours here in the clubhouse or on the grounds. I do my walk arounds twice a day, sometimes more, looking to keep things up to snuff so that Leonard / 13th floor can replace a bunch of stuff and we can maintain our money in the bank and use it for both condo 1 and 2. So in my book, it's very, very difficult to actually be elected and maintain your sanity. Thank you.
Thank you. Bill.
Okay, in my opinion, I don't see that there's any conflict of interest at all. I think it's like you're adding a little more onto the area and stuff. We're working for the residents. We want the residents to have input. They don't have enough input, or the input that they do have was on deaf ears. Okay. I just lost my train of thought. Okay, again, as I go back into infrastructure and stuff like that, some of these things I just stated, okay? You could be a brain surgeon. You're a lot better than me, okay? You don't know about building maintenance. You don't know about pool maintenance, okay? And this is the stuff that I think I can bring to the table. So as being as a conflict of interest, I think when we're having our meeting, the only other thing that you're gonna have is you're gonna have another group of people coming over there and having their interest. But I think they're looking for the same thing. They want some clean chairs, okay? Our chairs ain't been cleaned in years, okay? That they just ran out and they got the mold off because of this big COVID nonsense that they had to go over there and clean chairs and stuff like that. But they didn't want to, they want to do that. People want to enjoy a little bit more. I don't see if there's a problem that if you're in the back and you want to enjoy lunch or something like that, or have an iced tea or something like that with your friends sitting to the back, and I'm not saying bring glass into the pool, have more functions. Have later activities at night. I believe people want to swim at night and stuff, and they shouldn't have to sneak in to do it. They should be able to do it with a clear conscience. So this is part of the things that I don't see it as a conflict at all. Actually, it's a better challenge as far as I can say.
Thank you. Anthony?
I pretty much agree with Bill. I don't think there's a conflict at all. I think the communication between the rec board and the condo 2 board, well, the communications will be much open, instead of getting a roadblock maybe. When you want to find out what's going on with the recreation board and you get stonewalled maybe. I mean, I don't know if there was any of that conflict, but I think the communication would be wide open for me being on the rec board and communicating with the condo 2 board and vice versa. So I think it's a great idea to have one person on both boards. Thank you.
Okay. And next question. What would you do if one of the board's decisions was unpopular with the residents of Palm Greens 2? And Art is first. So you're laughing, so hopefully you have a great answer.
Yes, I am laughing because I was appointed onto the board back in 2020. And March 13th, 2020, we closed down everything due to COVID. So not only did we annoy the hell out of condo 2, but out of condo 1. And a lot of people at that point in time did not want to accept that we are dealing with a pandemic. And a lot of people made comments that we don't know what we're talking about. Why are we closing down? Why are we taking such abnormal care in trying to prevent COVID from coming into the general population, which is 55 and older? And many people don't realize, but the average age here runs 72 to 75, given what time of year it is. So when you have an elderly population and you have a pandemic and you close things down before it really reaches it, everybody, I don't care whom, everybody is annoyed. People, prime example, people say, well, why, as Bill said, why can't I go swimming? Why can't I have it? Well, it's called insurance, and we can't take the risk. Health department indicates certain things. We have done a lot of research with many of our answers and reasons why we do it. Nobody really wants to say no, no, no all the time, but we need to be safe.
Thank you. Bill?
Okay. I totally disagree with that, okay? Newsflash, COVID is here to stay, okay? There ain't nobody here looking like Biafran babies and stuff like that. They went to Publix, they went to Walmart, okay? What I'm saying is, yes, be careful, but people can go over there, okay? And the people that want to access the pools or the facilities should be able to. The people with underlying conditions naturally would have to be more careful, okay? But it's the same type of a thing as I said. When you come over there to try and get a club to run a function or something like that, it's red tape is, like I said, is crazy, okay? They're not transparent on what they do, okay? It's ruled with a heavy hand. It's ruled with one guy over there, okay? In all honesty, I don't know how we could do it, but a 3-3 board is, what do you do then? Okay, if this one person says black and the other person says white, who decides if it's going to be gray? And that's the way it is. But as I said, people want to come over there. They want to enjoy these facilities. And just because there is a sickness going on, okay, people die of cancers and everything else, okay, you still got to live, okay? And if, like I said, the facilities that you're paying for, okay, because they didn't say, hey, we're going to give you some money back, or we ain't going to do this, or we're not going to do that. No, they didn't do that. They stayed there. They stayed fully staffed the whole time they were there to do nothing. So my point is that if somebody wants to use the facility, they should. And I think we should expand the use of the facilities and encourage that.
Thank you. Anthony?
Yeah, I understand why they had to close in March of 2020. I get it. We had a pandemic. Everything was closed, except for the supermarkets. But later on, when we started to open up the facilities, I disagreed the way it was handled. Having 50 people at the pool, but only 10 people in the water, or I'm using that as an example. I'm hearing stories. I personally didn't go to the pool because I'm a high-risk person. So I made my choice not to go to the pool. But for those who wanted to go, I think they should have been able to go and lounge around as long as they were 6 feet apart. And I think the rec board went overboard, and that's my opinion. You know, I think they should have allowed the people to go in and enjoy themselves when this pandemic started to ease up 6 months later or 8 months later, whatever it was. And so I agree that somebody from who's not living here didn't understand what was really going on down here. And again, all I kept hearing was, are we getting reimbursed our $59 that we're paying for the pool? And nobody would answer. And we understand that the expenses still went on no matter what. I get it. But I think at some point in time, everything should have opened up and let the unit owners decide if they wanted to attend or not attend any of the facilities, either in the clubhouse or at the pool or the tennis courts. Thank you.
Thank you. Marjorie?
I believe the original question was, what would you do if a board decision wasn't favorable to residents or something like that?
Of Palm Greens too.
Okay. I'm elected by the residents, so I do have to listen to them, whether they're happy with the decision the board made or not. All I can do is pass that information on to the board that the residents are not happy with the decision, and maybe the board does want to take a look at it, a second look at it to see, you know, if something about it can be changed, maybe not the whole decision, but maybe something to appease the residents or anything. As far as the way things were handled here, I actually wasn't a resident at that time. I only moved here in May. And my first outing to the pool was after I had gotten settled in, and that was when you had to make an appointment to go to the pool, which I thought was a little ridiculous. And only limiting so many people in. I agree with everybody that it should be an individual decision. If you want to go to the pool and you have no underlying issues, keep a safe distance, keep yourself safe. Everybody here should be keeping themselves safe, because COVID is still happening. Every week there's a new form coming out, and we don't know how much longer it's going to go on. So my advice is just to everyone, know your limitations, what your health issues are, and keep yourself safe.
Thank you. Okay, here's another question. I know we've talked a lot about, you know, people's backgrounds, but the question is, share with us any previous leadership experience you have. Leadership being the key word. Bill?
Well, run that by me again. Leadership.
Yeah, would you please share with us any previous leadership experience that you have that will matter, you know, when you're on the rec board, if you should get it.
I got you now. I think we kind of did that in the opening statement stuff. I hold pool certifications, again, many engineering degrees and stuff like that. Also, I had to deal with a lot of committees, okay? Other engineers and stuff. And well, what I'll say is, unlike the sciences today, sometimes we all had to put our thoughts in, okay? And somebody would have an idea, or another person wouldn't have an idea. But I think coming over there and, as I said, listening to people and putting, like I said, putting thoughts together. We're in a situation over here, one size don't fit all, okay? So we have to come over there. Again, I can't stress this enough. I believe that anybody on any board should number one have to live here, number two be a full-time resident, okay? And okay, and that's basically that's pretty much basically it. But as far as, like I said, as that leadership goes, I don't think this board was transparent at all. Okay, you couldn't get any questions. Okay, sometimes you had some surly people, and I understand you're dealing with a lot of people, but you know what? Like us, like them, and that goes for First Service, and that goes for Charles, whoever else is in there. Okay, they work for us. We pay them. Okay, and whether they don't like what we have to say or not, they need to listen to us, and that's what I believe. And again, you'll have a voice with me.
Thank you. Anthony?
Yeah, I'm sorry, repeat that question again?
Sure. Share with us any previous leadership experience that you have. That
Okay,
would
well, I'll go back,
help.
I'm gonna go back a little bit. When I went into the service, I was in the Navy and made it to the second class petty officer, where I had up to 15 people below me that I needed to give guidance to. I was on a supply ship, and it was very important that the leadership was there. That's why I got promoted to that position. Later on, I opened up my own business where I had 7 employees. And again, I was the main man, so to speak. And I was in charge of not only 7 employees, putting a schedule together, payroll, taxes, ordering supplies. And then from there, I was a sales manager in several other businesses where I had salespeople below me. And later on, when I got into the real estate business, I had a team in Rhode Island that worked for me, and a coordinator taking care of most of my business. And then when I came here in Florida, I currently work for a big company, but for myself. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Marjorie?
My longest leadership experience was my 28 years in the judiciary for the state of New Jersey. When I became the assistant chief, I supervised 35 probation officers underneath me. And their daily activities, I had to monitor, how the things that they did. Put it out there, how many urine tests they did per month, how many health visits they did per month. And, I had to arrange training and things like that for them when different things came up. So that's been my longest leadership experience. I was on a few boards during that time. I worked a lot with domestic violence victims in New Jersey. I was on a domestic violence task force, and I worked with a group called Women's Space, which helped victims of domestic abuse. So that's my longest running leadership experience.
Thank you. Art?
My leadership experience spreads over the last 30 years, where I was an executive vice president with 1,500 employees. Then later on, I was CEO of a public corporation that had 5 divisions worldwide. And then I did startup companies, of which one of them was in China. And that meant learning the language, working with people who had no idea about their culture. So as far as leadership, if I can motivate different groups that are worldwide, it's very easy to utilize that. But having a financial background can pinpoint where the issues can shine and where you have problems. And that's what I've done already on the rec board as treasurer. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. This is the last question, I believe. And that is, and we will begin with Anthony. What is the first thing you would do if elected to the rec board?
Well, the first thing I would do is analyze and find out what the needs are currently. You know, is the tennis courts up to par? Are the shuffleboard courts up to date? What kind of contracts do we have currently with the landscapers, electricians, plumbers, maintenance people? Find out what their needs are, maybe have a short meeting with those guys. I don't know if we still have a property manager, the rec manager. I understand Chris is no longer with us. But there's Charles, and I can find out from him if there's anything that he needs that that he would like, that would help, excuse me, that would help the recreation board. So it would be a fact-finding mission at the beginning to see if there was anything that needed to be done. And then we can start addressing those issues. From the outside, everything looks okay, but until you get inside, you can't tell if there's anything okay or not. Thank you.
Thank you. Marjorie?
Well, the first thing I would do is familiarize myself even more with the rules and regulations of the rec board, how it's operating, what is going on currently, and what needs to be done, and go from there as far as contracts and everything else goes. You need to be familiar with it first and find out if it is the right fit for the for the community and with the board, and hopefully work with everyone on the board to achieve the best results for Palm Greens.
Thank you. You're done? I didn't
Yes.
want to cut you off. Thank you.
Okay.
Art?
Yes, I'm already on the rec board. I'm going for reelection. Presently, my biggest concern is supporting the PGCA. My secondary is,
Excuse me, could you explain what that is, those initials?
all right, PGCA is Palm Greens Community Action Group that is working very closely with 13th Floor / Leonard to construct and build the new rec center and facilities, as well as buildings throughout. We have a agreement with them, and that contract agreement is huge. And, you know, we're trying to stay on top of that and also get it started and rolling, as things got held up by 3 palm trees so far. Anyway, as far as anything else goes, I hear about tennis courts not being up to snuff. Well, guess what? We're considered the best hard-true tennis courts in South Florida. So that's something. We are addressing the shuffleboard. We've also had a TV chef who's putting out excellent food. And as for working with the different clubs to get it through, I now process all of that. And if you speak to the various committees that make up the clubs, you'll find it's very easy to work with us. So, I mean, to say that you're going to change contracts, we already did a contract review. We are now updating everything that we have going on.
Thank you. And Bill?
Can you do that question one more time?
Yep. What's the first thing you would do if elected to the rec board?
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it seems like we all were here for the invasion of Normandy and stuff like that. We commanded an army of 1 million. But what you have to do over there is you have to take the facilities and look at what the facilities are. You have to look at what the organizations are. Okay, you want to promote. This is what I want to do. Is I want to promote clubs. I want to see more clubs. Okay, I would like to see more activities. A lot of people that come to the pool, even if they come and sit and talk, they enjoy those activities. So that's what I would like to do. I'd like a lot less red tape and a lot more of. This is why we're here. Most of us are retired, and we want to enjoy our facilities, and that's what I think I would like to do. and be, like I said, and be more transparent with these people. And you know what? Give them a little about what they want.
Okay, thank you. So we're now going to move on to our closing statements. You all have 1 minute, and we will begin with Anthony.
Okay, so I am a full-time resident. I like to say that because, you know, I think being part-time, running a facility like that doesn't fly. Again, my management experience, I think would be a benefit. My real estate experience would also be a plus to the recreation board. And again, being a full-time resident, I think is very, very important. Thank you.
Okay, Art.
I'm a full-time resident here. I'm presently the treasurer of the rec board. I've also made sure that our assessments did not go up again to save that line. I've helped the Women's Club, the Four Seasons, the Tennis Social, the Tennis Committee, and Tennis Group. We have brought in the cafe, which is serving excellent food. We put out lighting outside for different events. We're going to be putting up this huge tent, a 20 by 40 tent for clubs, for business, whatever. And we're trying to get people out of their homes and into our facilities.
Thank you. Bill.
Same thing. I'm a full-time resident. Okay. I would like to see the facilities used more. I ain't a politician. I'm eating potatoes. So here it comes. While the general's in the rear with the gear, you want me in the point, okay? Because I'm going to get you there and back. And that's a fact. I'm done.
Thank you. Marjorie.
Yes, I am a full-time resident. I believe that I'm a logical and rational thinker. I like to listen to everybody, but I like to work with everybody too and come to the solutions. I've liked everything that Art has been saying about what's been done already, and I like this new idea of the tent. This is the first I'm hearing about it, but I like it because the Four Seasons has canceled so many things because of not being able to be indoors and people even being afraid to be outdoors. But again, I just want to help to make this community a better place to live for everyone. And hopefully you'll like that about me and vote for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we've come to the end of our time here, and I really want to thank all of you for attending, for answering, for sticking with the time clock. It's really important, and I really, really appreciate it on behalf of everybody here. And I'm going to turn it over to Sandy to close out this candidates forum.
Thank you very much to the candidates today who showed up and gave it their best. You did a great job, all of you. I'd also like to take some time to thank the residents who attended today. I think that in the beginning we mentioned there are 717 units and we had about 84 people register. So hopefully those 84 enjoyed the evening that we put together and learned more about the candidates. Our annual meeting is going to be held on Thursday, January 27th at 10 o'clock in the morning. And at this point, we would encourage everyone to vote. Again, thank you, Sharon. Behind the scenes, Jeff. And
Terrific.
Paul. Everyone have a good evening and stay safe.
Same to you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all.
Thank
You
you.
can
Thank
just
you.
leave as you wish. I'm doing that now. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.